In this video, we'll be looking at this Wavlink dual 5K USB-C docking station. They did send this in before review, but as always, that does not affect our opinion in any way. Just getting into the box here, it looks like the first thing we see is the actual dock itself sitting on top here. We'll go ahead and take that out for now. Then underneath here, we should have all of our cables and accessories. So looks like we have the power brick, a very large power brick. It's kind of one of those two-piece ones. This one will go into here, which goes into the wall, and then this, of course, powers the docking station and all of your accessories. Then finally, we do have a user manual, some driver download links. Then we have the cable for connecting our host. This is a USB-C to USB-A or USB-C. So I think this side goes into the docking station, then you can connect it to your computer via either USB-A or USB-C, which is pretty cool. Looking closer at the hub itself, you can get an idea of the design of it. It is all plastic, but it has a kind of a nice brush design to it, so it feels and looks pretty good. It does have a built-in stand, which is pretty unique, I would say. It's going to be sitting on your desk whenever you're using it, which I think looks really nice. It's only downside if you're wanting to mount it to your desk or something, but I think overall it's pretty cool to have it actually sitting on your desk. Makes all the ports pretty accessible, and it will also help with ventilation and all that. Regarding the actual ports, on the front here we do have two USB-C ports as well as a USB-A port. Then we also have a kind of headphone or microphone jack. This USB-A port is 3.0, so it's going to be pretty fast speeds. It does have a little battery indicator as well, so I suppose you can also charge things through that, which is always good. The nice thing about these ports is they are on the front, so they're going to be kind of quick access ports. If you want to be connecting your phone temporarily or, connecting a USB stick or something like that, then it's nice to be able to access all these ports very quickly. The one thing I think is kind of missing is an SD card slot. I'm very surprised to not see one on the front here or even on the back. I think almost every other hub I've used has one, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. I personally use SD card slots all the time, but if you don't use one, then that's not too big of a deal for you. Moving on to the back of the hub, we do have two more USB-A ports. These are again USB 3.0. They don't have the battery indicator, so I suppose if you want to charge something, you should use that front port. Then we also have an Ethernet port, which is going to be good for connecting your wide internet. It only supports up to Gigabit internet, so I would say a little bit slow for nowadays, but it's still going to be faster than most people have, so I would say it's pretty adequate. The other ports for down here are for connecting our displays. You can connect up to 2 displays, so even though there are 4 ports, you can only connect 2 of them. For each display, you can choose between either HDMI or DisplayPort, so for your first display, you can choose one of those. Then same thing for your other display. You should note that this supports up to 5K displays, but that's only going to be if you're using that DisplayPort. So if you're using HDMI, you're going to get 4K 60Hz, but it can do 5K 60Hz if you're using the display ports. So that's pretty cool. I would say it's a little bit lacking in the Ethernet category, but it definitely makes up for it in supporting 5K displays. The only other things down here are the USB-C port for connecting our host. That's going to be the USB-C cable that goes to your MacBook or your Chromebook, iPad, any of that. Then we also have the DC 20 volt for connecting this to the wall via the included power brick. That's of course going to give power to this hub, but in doing so, it's going to charge your laptop, make sure all the displays run properly, allow you to charge a device through this and all that. So not only is it going to be powering the hub, but kind of all your peripherals that are connected to this, so that's definitely nice to have. Makes it kind of worth it having such a big power brick. Let's go ahead and get everything connected to this and show you what the setup looks like. Alright, so this is our setup using this docking station. As you can see, we do have the ThinkPad connected to 2 different monitors. They are all extending the displays, and you didn't need any drivers or anything because it is on Windows. If you're using it with Mac, you will have to use it with Displaylink software, but that's just kind of Apple's own limitations, so it's a little bit unfortunate. But if you are using it with Windows, it is pretty much just plug and play as I'm using it now. So it looks pretty good, as you can see. I do only have a few things connected to it right now, so we have the docking station itself here. Again, it is nice that it's on a stand, so you do have pretty easy access to these front ports, and it's going to keep everything pretty nice and cool. But on the front, we have just a single cable going into it, which is connecting our speakers on either side here. So that means we still have 2 free USB-C ports in case we want to quickly connect or disconnect things, and same with that USB-A port on the bottom. Then looking at the back here, we do have just the 2 displays connected both via HDMI. They're not 4K or especially not 5K displays. You don't really have to worry about using DisplayPort over HDMI. So for convenience, I just have the 2 HDMI cables. That's what I'm using. But yeah, we can see we have the 2 HDMI cables going into each monitor. And then we do have the USB-C cable going into the host laptop, as well as this power cable going into the dock. So that means we have a couple for USB ports still. We have the 2 USB-A ports and then the Ethernet port as well. So we're not connecting those right now, but we do of course have that space if we want to connect something later. So it definitely was a very easy setup, especially in Windows. You don't have to worry about installing drivers or anything like that. I essentially just plugged everything in, plugged in my laptop, and it worked. So as you can see, everything's connected, but it's not actually charging the laptop, and that's because we're connecting it via USB-A right now. So this is a USB-A or USB-C connection. So it is able to connect the monitors and all your peripherals and everything like that via USB-A, but it won't actually charge the laptop, which makes a lot of sense. That might honestly also depend on the laptop, but we'll go ahead and kind of disconnect it and then show you what it looks like when we connect via USB-C. This makes a lot of sense to me, especially since this laptop only charges via USB-C. I'd be very surprised if it also charged over USB-A, but it is so nice to have that option. So we'll go ahead and connect it via USB-C. As you can see, it will start charging, and then all of our displays will kind of connect automatically. Alright, so yeah, that's what it looks like when it's via USB-C. Pretty much the same thing. The only difference is it will actually charge the laptop as well. Again, that might vary from laptop to laptop, but assuming for the most part you're going to want to connect it via USB-C anyway. So overall, it's a pretty solid docking station. It definitely does just about everything I'd like it to. It's really nice that it is pretty plug and play, and I do kind of like the actual design of it, like the fact that it stands up on the desk, it makes it look pretty good, and is just much more easy to connect things. Rather than having to worry about one that like sits flat on the desk, it's going to be kind of moving around more and all that. This kind of stands up, makes it easy to access all the ports, and also keeps it cool, which is going to be good as well. Docking stations tend to get very hot, so this one should have less of that issue due to it being vertically positioned. The only sort of downsides I could find for this hub are first that the stand is permanently attached, which again, I think it's cool. I think it works well. But if you're someone who wants to mount it to your desk or, have it take up less space, then you're not really going to be able to do that with this hub. You probably want one that sits more flat on the desk. But I think for a lot of people, it's nice to be able to access those ports and stuff easier. So kind of just depends on the person. The other downside is that the Ethernet port is only gigabit. Again, I think that's maybe just a problem that's pretty unique to me, but I have 2.5 gig internet, so I would be kind of throttled to using this hub if I were to use it with wide internet. So that's a little bit of a downside. If you have slower internet than that, then it's not a huge deal, but it's also one thing to think about the future. If you're going to be upgrading to faster internet later on, something like that, you probably want to have a hub that supports that. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then the final downside is that it does not have any SD or micro SD card slots. Again, if you're not someone who uses that, probably not a big deal, but I use it every day, so I would like to have it kind of easily accessible here. I can just use it directly on the computer, so it's not a super big deal, but especially having this kind of convenient to access dock. It'd be nice if I just had the SD card slot on the front and I could just, swap in and out the car whenever I needed to. So for me, that's a downside, but it really will just kind of depend on personal preference. If you don't use those features, then it's not a huge deal at all, and overall, it's still a very nice hub that was very easy to set up, very user-friendly, and I think it works very well overall.